Hi, it's one of your hosts, Ruth with Lion Culture Media. Welcome to our study on the women of the Bible. Today we observe the gospel through the life of Rebekah. Rebekah's story in the Bible, while not as directly connected to the gospel as some other biblical figures, still contains elements that reflect themes of the gospel and God's redemptive plan. Here are a few ways we can see the gospel through Rebekah. Divine guidance and providence. Rebekah's selection as Isaac's wife is marked by divine guidance and providence. Genesis 24, the servant's prayer for a sign and Rebekah's response demonstrate God's involvement in guiding the course of events. This reflects the gospel theme of God's sovereign plan for salvation, as seen in his guidance of history to bring about the coming of Christ. The blessing of nations. When Rebekah leaves her family to marry Isaac, her family blesses her, saying, "May you, our sister, become thousands of 10,000s, and may your offspring possess the gate of those who hate him." Genesis 24:60. This blessing echoes the Abrahamic covenant, which promised that through Abraham's offspring, all nations would be blessed. This ultimately points to Christ, through whom people from all nations are blessed and brought into God's family. Galatians 3:8-16. The sovereignty of God in election. The story of Jacob and Esau, Rebekah's sons, highlights the theme of God's sovereign choice. Rebekah plays a role in the fulfillment of God's prophecy that the older will serve the younger. Genesis 25:23. This scheme of election is central to the gospel, as it demonstrates God's sovereignty in choosing people for salvation, not based on works or merit, but according to his purpose and grace. Romans 9:11-13. Ephesians 1:4-5. The human condition and the need for grace. Rebekah's favoritism towards Jacob and her involvement in the deception of Isaac. Genesis 27 reveal the flawed nature of humanity and the complexity of family relationships. This underscores the biblical truth that all have sinned and fall short of God's glory. Romans 3:23. And the need for God's grace and forgiveness, which is ultimately provided through Christ's sacrifice on the cross. Through these aspects of Rebekah's story, we can see reflections of the gospel message and God's overarching plan for redemption, highlighting themes of divine guidance, blessing, sovereignty, and the need for grace. That's all for today. Join us next time as we dive deeper into another woman of the Bible's role according to the gospel. Also, make sure to subscribe for more from us.